Since last year's court judgment on corporal punishment at home, many parents are battling with alternative ways of disciplining their children. Parents who hit or spank their children will no longer be able to plead special defense should they get charged, making it completely illegal to punish your child this way. Dr. Ken Resnick is an educational psychologist and author of Parenting Decoded, Disciplining Kids in the Digital Age. He joins us now on the couch. Good to have you. Welcome to Morning Live again.
Yes, thank you. Thanks.
So, I mean, this is a tough one, you know. Let's backtrack a little bit, okay? Explain what the judgment actually means now that it's there officially in law.
From what I understand, you're not allowed to hit your child.
At all, nothing. I can't even go like this to my kids.
Well, nobody will know what you do, but the kids can complain.
Yeah?
Kids can report it if they want. If a school picks up a bruise and they feel it needs investigating, they can do all of that sort of thing. And it's a mountain out of a molehill, because I still think parents are going to do that. But it doesn't work, and I think that's the most important thing. It's made out to be the only form of discipline.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not.
Yeah. So let's just, okay, I just want to get that out of the way and remind viewers, because there's probably a lot of parents sitting there thinking, oi, okay, I forgot about that. And I have spanked my kid this whole holiday because they've been completely unruly and they will not listen to me. And we know that. I mean, we know a kid is a kid and you have to discipline them. There's a limit to the disciplining, obviously. I mean, you're not going to go and beat the child into a pulp, because it's absolutely unacceptable. But a spank here and there, are you in agreement with it, or do you like this judgment?
There are better ways. I think one of the problems is, in most cases, you spank because you're angry. Now, the moment you've got to spank when you're angry, you're in trouble, because sometimes you either spank too hard, the kid behaves a few days later, you feel bad, so you overcompensate. You might take him on a holiday, you might buy him a present, and it's your reaction that's the problem. You're not doing it in the cold light of day. And children, the moment you lose it, you must remember a child is totally dependent on you handling situations. Yeah. So the moment you lose it, he's in control. And there is a way. Certainly there's got to be discipline. But we are the authority figure. And if you look at teachers, good teachers, they don't spank.
Yeah.
The kids know where they stand. There's consistency, there are boundaries, there are consequences, etc. And parents an educator. Yeah. And they've got to know how to do it.
I mean, I listened to Balessa a bit earlier, and she says she's got the look. And the kid knows, do not go any further with what you're doing right now, because otherwise you're going to get into big trouble. And I suppose it's that kind of relationship that you build with your child. I mean, you talk about there are other ways. What are the other ways of disciplining your kid?
The other ways is to know how, first of all, to make clear exactly what the rules are, the structures are in your house. If you're going to have a house where the kids can run wild, where they can run through the kitchen when they like, take what they like, turn on the TV when they like, jump on the furniture, you're going to have a bit of chaos. It actually starts with the small things: teaching, please, thank you, etc., and helping them understand. If they don't, and they don't have the manners, they're not getting. And we'd be slipping up there. There are just fewer and fewer 3-year-olds that know how to say please and thank you. Yeah. And we just allow it. Parents come to my room, kids go to the handbag, they just take out, they interrupt. I've got a bowl of sweets, they take it.
Without asking.
I don't give them.
And that's the problem.
That's the thing. And parents feel a bit embarrassed. But it's quite interesting how many kids won't ask. And those that do will just say, I say, excuse me, may I have a sweet, please? And they do. Sweets are in little wrappers that are easy to open. What is the first thing they do? They give it to mom.
Yeah, I know.
No, they want the sweet, they open it themselves. Otherwise, they put it back.
Yeah.
And once they've opened it, what do they do with the wrapper?
Give it to
mom, and here's the dustbin.
Yeah, no, I'm a walking, living dustbin.
Well,
I am. It's
but
unbelievable.
at the end of the day, we're doing far too much for kids. Things that they should be able to do for themselves, things that they're taking for granted, and we're killing their passion, because every child is born with passion. Every child is born to take on life, and they're tough. Just don't abuse them. Man could never have survived had we not been tough. But we pussyfoot around kids like they're going to break in half. And they give us cheek and then, come on, boy, how are you feeling? And we go with feelings and all of this. They don't even know what you're talking about, and they even get more miserable.
Yeah.
So there are really lots of ways of dealing with it. But you've got to know how to make it their problem.
Yeah. I mean, it's so interesting, because I think all of us are, I mean, I'm giggling about myself here, because these are things that I am very, very guilty of. And, you know, I think I'm trying to instill all of these things in my children, but at the same time, you know, I'm like, oh, shame. Okay, no, shame. Don't be too hard on them. It's not fair. But at the end of the day, rules, children thrive with rules.
And boundaries.
Yeah.
No question. So, for instance, a child doesn't want to eat his food, doesn't have to eat his food. It's a strange choice. But what does it mean? It means he wants to go and sit in his room and play, and we go to bed a bit later. But you calm, you fine. He gets hungry a bit later, tough, kitchen's closed. We wanted you to eat, but for some reason you're telling me you didn't want to eat, but the kitchen's closed. He's not going to starve to death. And the next morning all you got to say to him, listen, Mommy just wants to know, are you going to eat with us tonight and then have TV or not? Or are you rather going to play in your room and not have supper?
Yeah.
He will definitely have supper. If not that night, definitely the third night.
What about timeout? Does timeout work?
I don't like the word, but what we've got to understand, timeout is normally when they're misbehaving. So the thing is, as a parent, you've got to let him understand he's choosing to behave or be cheeky, etc. So he's saying to you, I don't like you, Mom, or I don't like the family, and we're very sad. So the only room that belongs to him is his room. So he's choosing to go to his room. He's not sent to his room because he doesn't like the family. We don't know why. When he's ready to come and join the family again, he's welcome. So we never go into long lectures. It's short and sweet. The consequences may be short and sweet.
Yeah.
Standing and giving a lecture and thinking the kids even heard what you're saying. And I always say to parents, once you've lectured for your 5 minutes, ask him what you said.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a clue. But yet we carry on doing that.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. You're killing me here. Dr. Resnick, one thing is you've resonated with me because I've got little kids. I mean, I got a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old. That's where I'm at right now. But I am scared of teenagers. I am petrified of them. It's like they are there and they just completely change. Something happens. How do you discipline a teenager?
Well, that's why it's so important.
And technology.
Yeah, technology, remember, parents are the only people that can legislate with technology. And there's no question, it's the biggest killer. Kids are born with passion. Technology kills it. And the moment a kid is bored, you're in trouble because he's not playing on his cell phone, not playing on the PSP, etc. And I actually, you know, my whole approach is guiding the child to adulthood. Initially, we're guiding them to adolescence. And if we don't get it right, we have a nightmare as an adolescent.
Yeah.
I've brought up 2 stepkids, and it's just been amazing, the job we've done. In terms of their adolescence, they're 16 now. And we had the structures, we have absolutely no problem. But once we've messed up in those early years and expect them to just be teenagers that are going to cooperate, etc., you're in trouble because you can't make a teenager do anything because they have to cooperate. We need their cooperation, but you've got to know how to do it.
Yeah. I'm going to have to call you back because we need to go into depth, especially when it comes to technology, phones. When is the right age to give a kid a phone? Everyone else is doing it. Why can't I? And that's one of the biggest things that we hear. Dr. Ken Resnick is an educational psychologist. He's also the author of Parenting Decoded, Disciplining Kids in the Digital Age. It's a book, I'm sure, that's freely available. Or you can just visit
it's available in some bookshops, but through my website. They can.
And your website is?
www.smartchoiceparenting.co.za.
Excellent.
And if I can just mention my Facebook page, which is Parenting Decoded, and parents are welcome to contact me, ask me questions.
Excellent.
It'll be a pleasure.
All right, Dr. Resnick, thank you very, very much. Let's take a very quick break here on the program. See you after this.